Have you ever wondered about the courage and bravery of a single woman during the American Revolution? Today we delve into the life of Elizabeth Zane. Born in the heart of Virginia in the mid-18th century, Elizabeth was no stranger to the hardships of colonial life. Her early days were marked by the ever-looming shadow of the impending revolution. But little did she know that she would play a crucial role in this tumultuous chapter of history. Elizabeth's story is not just a tale of survival, but a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who dared to defy the odds. This was a time when loyalty and courage were the only shields against the harsh realities of war. Our journey into the past will reveal the enigma that is Elizabeth Zane, a woman who left her mark in the annals of the American Revolution. Join us as we journey back to the late 18th century, a time of conflict and revolution. The American Revolutionary War, a conflict that forever changed the course of history. And in its midst, a woman named Elizabeth Zane. The American Revolutionary War, a tumultuous period that spanned from 1775 to 1783, was a time of profound change, a time of great upheaval and a time of incredible courage. The 13 American colonies sought independence from British rule, a quest that ignited a fierce conflict pitting neighbor against neighbor, family against family. At the heart of this maelstrom were key players, figures whose actions tipped the scales in favor of liberty or tyranny. On one side, we had the British Empire, a formidable force led by King George III, a monarch determined to maintain control over his American territories. On the other side were the American patriots, men like George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, who were driven by a burning desire for freedom and self-governance. While these men took center stage, behind the scenes, countless others played their parts, their contributions often overlooked in the grand narrative of history. Among them was Elizabeth Zane, a woman whose courage and determination shone brightly during these dark times. Born into a family of patriots, Elizabeth was no stranger to the strife that surrounded her. Her brothers were active participants in the war, and their fervor for the cause of independence was mirrored in Elizabeth's own heart. Despite the societal norms of the time, which often relegated women to the sidelines, Elizabeth was not content to sit idly by. She sought to play an active role in the fight for freedom, a decision that would ultimately lead her to perform an act of bravery that would reverberate through the annals of history. Amid the smoke and fury of cannon fire, the cries of the wounded and the rallying calls of the brave, Elizabeth saw an opportunity to make a difference. She knew the risks, understood the potential cost, but nevertheless, she stepped forward. In the heart of this chaos, Elizabeth Zane made a decision that would etch her name into the annals of history. The year was 1782. The siege of Fort Henry was underway, and Elizabeth Zane, she was about to become a legend. The siege of Fort Henry was a pivotal moment in the American Revolutionary War. The fort, situated on the western frontier in present-day West Virginia, was under attack by a combined force of British soldiers and Native American allies. The defenders, a ragtag group of settlers led by Colonel David Shepherd, were outnumbered and outgunned. The fort's supplies were dwindling, most critically their gunpowder. Without it, they would be unable to defend themselves. It was a dire situation, and it was in these trying circumstances that Elizabeth Zane stepped forward. Elizabeth was not a soldier, nor was she a seasoned frontier woman. She was, in fact, a young lady recently returned from Philadelphia, where she had been attending school. Yet she had a strength in her that was about to change the course of the siege. Elizabeth knew of a nearby cabin that housed a stash of gunpowder. With the fort's men either wounded or needed at their posts, she volunteered to fetch it. Despite the dangers of the open battlefield, she was determined to run the gauntlet. And so she did. As the enemy watched in stunned silence, Elizabeth made her way to the cabin. Perhaps they were taken aback by her audacity, or maybe they underestimated her, but they did not fire. Not at first. By the time they realized the gravity of the situation, Elizabeth was already on her way back. A keg of gunpowder clutched in her arms. The air turned deadly as bullets flew around her. Yet she did not falter. She ran, her focus solely on the fort and the people she was determined to save. Despite the danger, despite the fear, she persevered. With a keg of gunpowder in her arms and enemy fire all around, she ran back to the fort, turning the tides of the battle. Elizabeth Zane, in her moment of heroism, became more than just a name. She became a symbol of courage, resilience, and the indomitable spirit of a nation in its infancy. Elizabeth's act of bravery wasn't just a single event, it was a spark that ignited a flame of hope. Imagine this. In the heart of a relentless siege, a woman's courage becomes the turning point. The moment Elizabeth Zane risked her life to fetch gunpowder, she didn't just secure a defense for Fort Henry, she shifted the tide of the entire siege. The enemy forces, taken aback by this audacious act, faltered. Their morale wavered, while the spirits of the defenders soared. The underdogs had found their strength, and with it they held the fort against all odds. But the ripples of Elizabeth's bravery extended beyond that single victory. It echoed through the war-ravaged landscapes of America, touching hearts and kindling courage. Stories of her heroism spread like wildfire, bolstering the morale of the beleaguered and the battling. They saw in Elizabeth a symbol of resilience, a testament to the power of courage in the face of overwhelming adversity. And then there were those inspired to action. Just as one woman's bravery had turned the tide of a siege, others began to believe in their power to effect change. Men, women, and even children, emboldened by Elizabeth's story, stepped up to contribute in their own ways. They became the unseen heroes of the war, their contributions often overlooked in the grand scheme of things, but crucial nonetheless. Long after the echoes of war had faded, the impact of Elizabeth's act continued to resonate. It served as a reminder of the strength inherent in each individual, the potential for heroism in the most unlikely of places. It inspired tales of bravery, ballads of heroism, and even sparked debates on the role of women in times of conflict. In essence, Elizabeth's act was more than an act of bravery. It was a catalyst that changed the course of a siege, a source of inspiration during a bleak period, and a lasting legacy that has endured through the annals of history. Elizabeth Zane, a woman of courage, became a beacon of hope during one of America's darkest times. Elizabeth Zane, a name etched in history, a legacy that still resonates today. Her story, a testament to courage and resilience, continues to echo through the ages, inspiring the hearts of those who hear it. Elizabeth's daring act during the Revolutionary War has been remembered and retold through generations. The tale of her heroic run to retrieve gunpowder from her brother's house, all while under enemy fire, has been immortalized in literature and folklore alike. Her bravery is not just a story, but an emblem of the American spirit. Recognition for Elizabeth's heroism came in various forms. Schools and streets bear her name, standing as a constant reminder of her sacrifice. In Wheeling, West Virginia, a monument was erected in her honor, serving as a focal point for the town's history and heritage. Each year, local communities gather to commemorate her act of bravery, keeping her memory alive, but Elizabeth's legacy extends beyond mere names and memorials. Her story has become a guiding light, an example of the strength of the human spirit when faced with adversity. It inspires individuals to rise above their circumstances, to face their fears head-on, and to always hold steadfast to their convictions. Her tale has also been a catalyst in reshaping the narrative about women in history. Elizabeth Zane's story is a reminder that women too have played pivotal roles in shaping the course of our history. Her bravery and tenacity have paved the way for future generations of women to step forward and make their own mark. To this day, Elizabeth's legacy continues to resonate. Her story serves as a testament to the power of courage, the strength of the human spirit, and the indomitable will to do what's right, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Courage, bravery, and the will to do what's right. That's the legacy of Elizabeth Zane, a true American hero. Elizabeth Zane, a woman of her time, and yet a woman for all times. Her story is a remarkable testament to the power of courage, a beacon of hope that has shone through the ages. Her daring act, performed in a time of strife, has echoed down the centuries, inspiring countless others to rise above their circumstances, to defy the odds. Elizabeth's legacy offers a powerful reminder that the course of history can be shaped by a single act of bravery, a single moment of unwavering determination. Her story resonates today, a timeless reminder that we too, in our own times of strife, can summon the courage to make a difference. In the face of adversity, we can choose to stand tall, to act with conviction, and in so doing, change our world for the better. In the story of Elizabeth Zane, we find a testament to the power of courage and the indomitable spirit of humanity.